Thomas with Houston Paint Protection, here to talk ceramic window tint on Tesla Model 3s. So with these Teslas, obviously they have a lot of glass, all the side and back glass, the big windshield, and the entire roof is glass. So here in Houston, Texas, where it gets really hot, we have high UV and IR or infrared exposure. The ceramic tint, which blocks all of that, is going to be a very popular choice. In this video, I just want to run through the nuances of installing ceramic window tint on a Tesla Model 3 and some of the popular options that people go with, and just some of the questions and answers we give people to guide them through choosing the right ceramic window tint package for them. The first thing I want to talk about is tinting the windshield. So a lot of people think window tint, it's going to be dark, it's going to be too dark to put on the windshield, or illegal, or all of these things. And the cool thing with ceramic tint is that it's just not the case. So ceramic tint is available in all VLTs. VLTs is essentially the different darknesses or shades. So we can go all the way up to 70 or 80%, which appears nearly clear. And that is fantastic because with ceramic tint, even though the performance of the film, the heat rejection, does change with the shades, it is very minimal. So you as the user or the owner of the vehicle that's sitting inside, you still get to experience the benefits of the window tint without having the darkness obstructing your view for something like the windshield. The windshield is the largest piece of glass on the car, and we always tell people if you're going to spend a lot of time in your car and you're not going to tint the windshield, it's like driving around a boat with a hole in it, because you're going to have this big hole that's leaking in all this water or sunlight, while the rest of it is okay. You've got a big leak right here. So if you plan on spending a lot of time in this car, or if you're sensitive to heat, your skin is sensitive to the sun, or you want to keep that interior protected, highly recommend tinting the windshield. Our most popular option is going to be 70%, which is going to appear relatively clear. That way you don't have any visual obstruction and you can drive at night comfortably, but again, you get all the benefits of the ceramic window tint. The next piece that we're going to talk about is the top glass or the sunroof. Now, this is going to be the least popular piece of glass to get window tint on, mainly because A, it's already dark, and B, it is quite rare, even in Houston, for our customers as occupants of these vehicles to feel the heat ingress from this piece of glass. Most of the time on the 3 and the Model Y, if people are asking about the top glass, we'll see how sensitive they are to the heat ingress and see if it's even worth it. 9 times out of 10, they say no. Or we'll pose the question of, hey, get everything else tinted, drive the car around. If you feel like it's still a problem, come back and we'll take care of it. To this day, I've never had somebody come back. So it's not extremely necessary. Some people do want it. This customer is going to get it. But if you would like to have this done, we do recommend doing it in a 70% or a relatively clear ceramic tint, because the way ceramic tint blocks heat is through rejection and reflectivity and absorption on the surface of the glass. So the more heat the glass absorbs, the less is passing through to you on the other side. And the reason why we want to point that out for top glass, it's upward facing, it catches a lot of sun and energy here in Houston, so you don't want to make this too dark where the heat absorption goes too high and possibly cracks it, or makes it more prone to cracking if you get impacts from rocks and things like that. Remember, the leading edge is still exposed here. So if you do want to opt for top glass, we do recommend 70%. All of this is doable, not necessarily necessary, but it is an option. The next thing we're going to talk about is the side and back glass. So the 4 side windows, the 2 quarter windows on each side, and then the back glass back here. We're going to do a special segment on just the back glass, but in general, we consider side and back glass to be one package. So with a car like the Tesla Model 3, it is not like full-size cars or SUVs or trucks in the US domestic market that come with privacy glass in the rear. So if we just pan right over to that Raptor, you can see the front 2 windows are clear and the back ones are dark. That is what we call privacy glass. Those windows come tinted from the factory, but it's just painted glass. There's no actual window film there. So this car does not have that luxury. And the reason why we say luxury is because sometimes with privacy glass, the owners opt to tint only the front 2 and it still looks okay. In this case, you cannot do that. It will look funny if you do just the front 2 and keep everything else clear. So unfortunately on the Model 3, you're gonna have to decide what shade you want, but you're gonna have to do all 6 of the side windows and the back glass. So in this case, the most common questions that we're asking or that we're being asked is legality and the different shades and what they look like. So in the state of Texas, we'll start with the front two windows. The only thing that matters legally is the front two. And so the legal limit is 25%. So if you want to remain legal, we have to put a 30% film because the glass itself is going to meter just shy of 100% clear, right? It's not perfectly clear. And then when you stack the percentage of the window tint on top, it's gonna land somewhere around like 26 or 27%, which is right above the legal limit. So 30% on the front two windows only if you want to maintain legality. If you do not care about that, then the next question we're gonna move to is the aesthetic. Do you want it to look uniform all the way around? What I mean by that is, do you want it to be 30%, 30%, 30%, whether it's 20 or 5%, whatever it is? Do you want all of the windows to look the exact same? By and large, with our customer base, people are more concerned with aesthetics more than anything. You'd be hard pressed to get a police officer pulling you over and giving you a hard time about window tint here in Houston. So most people disregard the legality and they mostly go based on looks. When it comes to a car with no privacy glass, you can do this so many different ways. You can do lighter in the front to maintain legality, darker in the back if you want the privacy, or you can do dark all the way around. It really depends on what you're looking for. The only thing we do discourage people is don't make the fronts darker than the rears because it does look kind of funny. Just based on what you see on the road, most of the time, if anything's gonna be lighter, it's gonna be the front glass. So it's up to you as the customer. Again, the performance is mostly negligible on the difference between the VLTs or the shades. We're mainly looking at aesthetics and what you want as the owner. So again, you can do 30% all the way around, 20%, 5% all the way around. None of that really matters. It's all about aesthetics. Unless you're gonna be that legal person, then we absolutely have to do 30 here, and then the rest is up to you. So with that being said, if you have questions on this, if you have the car and you watch this video and you're like, hey, that's still not super helpful, I'd like to know in person what it's gonna look like, or I have more specific questions, please come to the shop. We will walk you through everything in person and give you a more detailed breakdown on how to choose the right window tint for you. And with that being said, we're gonna move over to this back glass and we're gonna talk about why this glass is unique and some of the challenges that are involved in tinting it. The back glass on the Tesla Model 3, as you can see, is quite long. And it is longer than 40 inches, which is very important because the vast majority of window tint is manufactured in 40-inch rolls. So if we were to tint this back window, we only have two options. We can put two pieces together and seam it, or it can be done in one giant piece with a special sized roll of film. Here at Houston Paint Protection, our standard is the one-piece back glass. The premium attached to that is pretty high because we want to make sure things are getting done to our standards. And that premium comes from the material itself and how difficult it is to install. So on a standard window tint roll that comes in 100-foot length, we're only going to be ordering rolls of 60-inch. We're gonna need a 60-inch roll, which is a special oversized roll. Those typically only come in 25 or 50 feet, and they are much more expensive than a 100-foot roll of 40. So right off the bat, the material cost has compounded just because it's not common. It's harder to manufacture those pieces. It's more high risk. They're more prone to getting debris in the film and things like that, having glue issues, all of the above. And because of that, there's a premium on our side for material. And again, that is our standard. So from front to back, that will be done in one singular piece of tint. And whenever we go through this with the customer, we have to know the exact shade they're looking for because again, we either have to pull it from our inventory or procure a special roll to make sure that we get this done. Generally, you're looking at, from a standard install on another car, anywhere from $100 to $150 more for a side and back glass package on a Model 3 if you're gonna one-piece the back glass. There are a lot of advantages to one piece. Mainly it's aesthetics and the standard of our install. We like to give people options, but if we think something really is better, we will maintain that as our standard. And we do believe that the one piece is a lot better. It's cleaner over time. There's no seam right in the middle. And we found that our customers are happy with those installs over the period of time living with the car. The other side of that, outside of the material, I did mention it's a little bit more difficult to install it. That's where some of that premium comes from, and that is absolutely the case. So, you know, when we're dealing with a piece of film that large, and the window tinters have to shrink it, they have to roll it up, manipulate it with their hands, push it in place. Obviously, they're squeegeeing across a much larger surface area. All of that stuff compounds into it being a more difficult install. And so the difficulty, the risk, and the time involved with that add to that premium, which is why it would be $100, $150 more over a standard sedan. So material cost and difficulty and risk all come together to make the price of one-piecing this with the side and back glass more expensive. Now, the second option, which we offer, is going to be two-piecing the side and back glass. So the way we'll do that is we'll take two pieces of window tint and we'll put them together and make a seam right here in the middle. That way we can cut down on the material cost, not so much the labor and time, because now we have to work on getting a perfect seam and placing two pieces of film instead of one, but the premium on the material will come down. The way we lay the seam to make it as invisible as possible is to find the most centered defroster line, because light is not going to show through that, and then we'll seam the pieces right across the defroster line. That way, when you're sitting inside the car and looking out of your rearview mirror, or just turning around to look back, you're not seeing a little sliver of light come through where the seam is made. We're very good at placing that seam, getting it, you know, as perfect as possible, but again, it'll never be 100% perfect. So that's why we want to lay that right over a defroster line to help make sure that you're not seeing that light bleed through from the inside looking out. Again, that does lower the material cost, but not necessarily the time commitment or how difficult it is, because now instead of dealing with one piece, we are dealing with the seam. So we do bring the price down a little bit for that, but again, the square footage of the material is still there, and the install itself is still there, so it's not going to be that much cheaper, but we do bring it down. So that is something that we walk every Model 3 owner through. If you're looking for window tint on a Model 3 and you get a quote and they just throw out a number without walking you through this, chances are they're going to try and seam it, or they're not just going to tell you, they're going to not tell you about it and just do it, which a lot of people might not be happy with. So for this car specifically, we do need to go in detail walking everybody through the installation to make sure we give you exactly what you're looking for. If you've got a new Tesla Model 3 or even an old one and you want tint removed or replaced, or you want brand new tint put on it, please reach out to us at HoustonPaintProtection.com. Give us a call or swing by and talk to us here in the shop in person. We're more than happy to walk through all of these details and the actual install itself with you and get you set up with ceramic window tint so you can beat that Texas heat.